Hello everyone and welcome to my new video on my YouTube channel. This is another Plan With Me video and this is for the month of September. Now for this month I chose to go with a coffee shop theme. Originally I wanted it to be a very muted colored spread, so lots of beiges, browns and all that. But I decided it would actually be a lot more fun to include color. So instead of looking like a French cafe, which was the original idea, I ended up using a lot of green as well and made it almost like a Scottish cafe. I don't know quite what I was going for, but I like how it turned out. So on the cover page, which you can see me drawing right here, I'm drawing a coffee mug in the center with a croissant right under it, a menu board, and now I'm doing a napkin. So when I was little, I used to take ballet classes, and sometimes when my dad would pick me up, we would go to this bakery near the ballet class, and I would always get a pastry there, like either a little cake or a croissant sometimes, which is why the spread kind of like brings back some of those fun memories. Now, I just want to apologize for the bad quality of the camera right now. I don't know why it was out of focus, but it's just for this cover spread, so it gets better, trust me. So what I'm using to draw in the tea or the coffee inside the mug is the Mildliner collection pen. I really like these pens, but I actually went over it so many times that it bled through to the other page. Normally Mildliners don't do that because, as the name suggests, they're mild, but I may have gone a little bit overboard. But I still really like the cool kind of swirly effect that it gave. The other pens that I'm using mainly for this spread and for coloring in are the Staedtler double-ended Fibre-Tip pens. Those I got them at Christmas from a friend, and honestly I haven't stopped using them. They're my favorite. And for writing over the coffee in white, I'm using a jelly roll pen. All my supplies I'm going to be showing at the end of this video, as well I'll be linking them below in the description box, so if any of them interest you, you'll easily be able to find them. Finally, I thought that a fun addition to the spread would be a menu, and so I didn't want to actually think of an actual cafe menu, so I just did what children do to mimic writing, so just the fun little scribbles. And then I also thought that the spread looked kind of bland, so I just went over everything of the mug. Instead of having it be white ceramic, I made it brown. I think it makes it a little bit difficult to see that it is a mug, but I get it, and yeah, I think it looks a lot better this way. Now that the video quality is back to normal, we're going on to the next spread that I've made, which is my 3/4 year goal recap. I use this 3 or 4 times a year, depending on how I want to divide it up, and I use this at the end of the month. Basically, this is a page where I write a whole list of all of the goals that I set for myself at the beginning of the year and any that may have added themselves along the way, and I track down my progress on them. A lot of my goals are language related. I love learning languages. I'm such a language nerd, and that's actually what I'm studying in school. So, for example, one of my goals is to finish the Duolingo Spanish language tree by the end of this year. So I would write the name of that goal, then write how many steps there are. So by memory, I think there are 7 or 8 checkpoints on Duolingo, and then I would write what I'm at, and then calculate how much I have to do every month in order to achieve my goal realistically by the end of the year. Like this, it's using the SMART goal technique, but adapting it every month to keep it be realistic, because what may seem realistic at the beginning of the year is not necessarily what stays realistic. It's important to always reevaluate your goals, reevaluate your progress, and see if the goals you have are still important to you the same way that they were at the beginning. As far as layout goes for the spread, I wanted the actual writing area to be like a window or a frame in the cafe. So I'm drawing the lights around it on the top, kind of like an industrial style lighting setup. And on the bottom, there's like the cute cafe tables, the small rounded tables that make it look really cozy and intimate. And yeah, I think actually that this looks like the cafe from the TV show Friends. I've never watched it, but I have seen like a few color palettes from it go around on Pinterest. Also, one of my sisters is absolutely obsessed with the show. I somehow just couldn't get into it. But yeah, that's what the colors actually remind me of. I think the green like adds a lot of fun and more like vitality than just leaving it brown. So yeah, that's what the 3/4 year goal recap is. I've showed you guys how I do it for the half year, and that's actually the first time I started doing it, and now this is the second time, and I think next year I'm gonna do it every quarter. And this is how the 2 first pages look together when completed. I really love how simple they were to set up, yet how fun they make the page look. Moving on, this is another one of my recurring pages. It's my goals and notes page. I use this page to divide in half and be a tracker of what my goals are for the month. So going back to the goal setting, which is honestly what I use my bullet journal for mostly, I would write down what the specific steps to achieve my goals are for that specific month. And I would write them there, have them kind of be their own checklist. Because my to-do list is a different spread, so I keep my goals separate from my to-dos. Like that, they're organized, and whenever I know that I have achieved something that's linked to my goals, I can just check it off there. And for notes, I just write down whatever pops into my mind. If I need a spot to just scribble something, a reminder, or if I come up with a new theme idea, that's generally where I write it. And you can tell I've actually added a third section in this page. I haven't done that in the past, but I decided to start adding a YouTube tracker. So I'm trying to do YouTube a bit more now. I want to make more videos, and so I thought it would be a good idea to track my progress. So the amount of subscribers I would have on the 1st of the month and then on the 30th of the month. So that's what I've done for September. I've decorated again using the writing space as a frame or as a window, and on the bottom you can see I added a little counter space. I always love it when cafes or restaurants have little counter area where you can sit, even if you're just by yourself and want to read. Sometimes you don't always need a full table to yourself, so yeah, just by the window, a counter. And then I added some more bistro or cafe types food, so a small triangle sandwich, croissants, and coffee or tea. I didn't want to like say, oh yes, this is coffee for sure, this is tea for sure, because honestly, don't most cafes serve both? But yeah, so I'm drawing in the sandwich right now, and I thought it would be super cool to add in texture by just adding a lot of dots on what is supposed to be the bread. I think it looks really cool, and I also did the same with the croissants, not by adding dots, but by going over with the yellow to make it like that buttery, glossy effect. So that's that page complete. At this point, recording this is just making me so hungry because I'm seeing all my drawings of different foods, and doesn't that croissant just look so good? I would just love to have a cup of coffee and a pastry. There's actually a really cute pastry shop near my house, and I went this week and I bought a couple of pastries. I bought a fruit tartlet with an éclair with pistachio filling, and then my boyfriend and I went to the waterfront to just eat it together as a picnic, and it's just a really nice kind of outing. It was a lunch thing, and yeah, I want to start going to cafes and pastry shops more just because I really like it, and also I get to try so many yummy things. I love pastries. Whoever knows me knows I talk about them a lot. What's actually funny though is I'm not super great at making them, mainly because I don't have much practice, but one of my sisters is amazing at cooking, at baking. Like, she'll make all the desserts when it's our birthdays, she'll make cakes, and honestly, she's talented, but also because she has practice with it, and I don't. So she'll probably get some practice. I know I've talked before about wanting to learn how to cook. Still have to start that. But yeah. Anyways, this is the to-do page that I'm working on right now. This is basically where I put in any of the things that I want to get done this month. I just write them here. They're a reminder page so I just don't forget them. And basically, if ever I have free time, this is where I fill it out. And those are the next 2 pages complete. These are honestly the pages I use most when doing a monthly setup, so that's why I repeat them every single month. The bulk of the setup is actually complete now. What I'm working on in the next few pages are just my weeklies. So I decided that I'm gonna try something out for the month of September. School started again, so I needed bigger blocks for every day. I wanted it to be enough space to write my daily to-dos as well as homeworks and any exams or events, appointments, those kind of things. I wanted to be able to see everything without having the writing look cramped, so that's why the boxes are a lot bigger and more conventional than what you guys saw in my August setup. But what I wanted to try out here is 2 weeklies, so the 2 first full weeks of September are going to be 1 page per week, which is what I'm working on right now. So the left page is 1 week, the right page is another. And in the 2 weeks after that, instead of doing 1 page per week, I'm doing the top half of the 2 pages be 1 week and the bottom half of the 2 pages be another week. I just wanted to see whether I prefer using a 1 week per page layout or if having kind of rolling layout would make more sense to me. Obviously this is different for everyone, but I wanted to experiment while it's still early in the semester to know what would be the best method for me, because I've changed a lot of bullet journaling methods in the past couple months, and I really want to optimize my bullet journal according to what I need and to have it work best for me. So yeah, that's why I'm testing out the 2 different layouts. I'll tell you guys next month which one I ended up preferring, and so that'll probably be the one I'm using mainly for next month. For the decoration, you can see on the bottom I added a cute little menu card, but instead of writing menu on it, I wrote the week number, which is the 36th week, and added more of the cafe decorations. You can also see me filling in the bottom bar of every daily box with an S and a Z. Those are to signify sleep and study. So study is the S and sleep is the Z, like how a comic book character falls asleep, you'll often see a lot of Zs. Yeah, that's why, because I track the amount of hours that I do that, and then I compile it and put it into different averages, and I make a whole chart on a separate page. I'll show you guys in my semester setup videos. I often have a statistics for nerds page, as I like to call it. But yeah, I like to collect those stats about myself and just adjust my life to have a more healthy amount of sleep or study, so I'm not cramming certain times or and falling behind on sleep, and other times almost doing no homework and sleeping a lot. No, I want to find that balance, so that's what having those trackers helped me do. So the left page is already complete at this point. Now I'm working on the right hand page. I wanted to still have the designs be a little bit different, even though the workable functional layout would be the same. So the foods are a little bit different on the top. I didn't include lights on the top as much as I did on the left page, and also the bottom cafe area is a little bit different as well. So instead of having 1 big table shared by 2 chairs, I just have 2 smaller tables with 1 food item each. I did think the layout looked a bit just bland on itself. I thought there was a lot of green missing, so I do go in and add a chair in between the 2 tables you see at the bottom, because compared to the other page, it just wasn't as bright and as inviting, which a cafe should be inviting, so that's why I did that. You'll see me add the chair soon. But on the right side, I'm also adding the week 37 with my white jelly roll pen onto the black. It's not the best jelly roll in my opinion. I'll have which one it is linked in the bottom, but it works. You just have to be careful not to scrape off the the white out from the jelly roll when you go over multiple times, so you have to like let it dry in between. That can be a bit long, but it's workable. Like, it's not impossible. Obviously you guys can see it, it picked up on the camera, so it works. I've also added a kind of a frame around the weekly box. I just wanted that to be like more tied into the theme, not that just like the functional part is surrounded by a ton of cafe things, but I really wanted the actual planner area to be part of that cafe as well, so that's why I did that. So those are the two first weeklies completed. They're really easy to set up. If you're recreating this theme, you can choose whatever foods you want. I just decided to go with the more normal cafe bistro kind of foods. So like I mentioned, these 2 weeks are going to be slightly different. Instead of having 1 week per page, you'll see that I'm doing 1 week on the top and 1 week on the bottom. So the Sunday and Saturday are both on the right page instead. You can see I have slightly smaller boxes for the weekend. But honestly, that doesn't really bother me. Mainly what I use my bullet journal for is tracking my school-related activities, as well as my personal goals. So really the biggest days I need space for are during the week, which is perfectly fine. That I don't have that on weekends. On weekends I mainly like work, so I just write down what hours I work and any personal to-dos or goals that I have to do. So yeah, that's how that works. As far as decorations go, this time I added again the 2 tables on the bottom of the left page and the kind of plaid patterned chairs. I feel like they look Scottish. I know it's just because of the plaid. Do you guys say plaid or plaid? But yeah, that's how I felt about it. I really like them though. I like how they swirl at the corners and they just like look cool. I don't think I've actually seen any chairs like that in person. But yeah, I think it would be cool to sit on chairs like that in a cafe. It's kind of like a mix between cozy and industrial, which normally I don't like industrial looks, but I don't know. For this setup, I thought that it looked quite nice with the colors together, so that's why I tried doing it, and I really like how it turned out. The colors are like a really cool match, and I liked playing with textures as well, not just for the chairs, but like I said before, the little breads for the sandwiches with the little dots on them. Also, if you guys are in the Montreal area and know a really cool cafe, please comment down below. Going to cafes is one of my favorite activities, and I really want to like discover more. So if you have a favorite one, if one is like particularly beautiful or you really like the menu, tell me what your favorite one is and why. I would love to visit it. Also, normally I use my Sakura Pigma Micron pens interchangeably. So I have the 005 size and the 03 size. But somehow for this month I mainly use the 03. Normally what I would do is use the 005 for finer details, which I did do it just on the lights. I did little streaks as you can see right now, but that's about all I used it for this month. So I really stuck with the bigger lines. I don't know quite why, but it worked out. Normally I would just focus on details, but I guess the spread just didn't have as many small details since they were all like furniture or foods, so they're pretty clear what they are. But yeah, so just so you guys know. I know with the current global health situation, going out to cafes might not be really accessible for everyone. And for a couple months, I didn't go to any cafes, restaurants, or anything. And personally, I feel like going out to eat is one of the things that I miss the most. And now that things are finally opening up again, I'm really enjoying it a lot more than I used to. Almost like being like grateful, thankful that they're open. Obviously, that's a good thing, but it just shows like how little normal daily things that we enjoy are so much more special than we realize they are. So yeah, my little thing is going to cafes and restaurants. Obviously, my wallet has been thankful that I haven't had to go anywhere, but I just like doing so, and especially in the fall season when like school is just starting and you know you don't necessarily want to be stuck in the library all the time, although that can be fun. But I liked going to my school's cafe during my breaks. That won't be possible anymore, so hopefully I can visit the cafe near my house a little bit more often now. So since I don't have the little menu cards on each page writing down which week of the year it is, I replaced those with just saying menu. I added a bar on the side instead of framing the whole functional area with like the brown all around. I just put it on the left side of each page with then the week number, so week 38 and week 39. I also thought it'd be fun to alternate colors for the dates. And that's that. Let me know in the comments down below whether you prefer the 1 week per page or you like this top-bottom situation. Like I said, I'll be giving you my opinion next month. And that is it. We're on to the final flip-through right now of all the completed spreads. So if you've watched until right now, I just want to give you guys a big thank you. And if you liked the video, please give it a like. Comment down below which of the spreads was your favorite, what you liked about it, and what would you change about it. I'm curious to find out. For stationery, I'm using the Sakura Pigma Micron pens in size 03 and 005, the white jelly roll pen in size 08, also by Sakura. And then for coloring in, most of the time I used a lot of these Staedtler double-ended Fibre-Tip pens. They are my favorite. Just be careful because they do bleed through easily if you go over the same spot a lot. And also for the lettuce details and the borders, I use the Mildliners from Zebra. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!